F1 cars remain among the most technologically advanced things on the planet, capable of cornering at incredible speeds and generating more downforce than even fighter jets. However, for all the engineering brilliance and incredible speed, the current single-seaters remain hopeless in one common condition: heavy rain. As of 2025, F1 still faces major hurdles when it comes to racing on tracks. Despite new technology and ongoing innovations, the blue-walled full-wet tyres remain a rare sight, with a safety car or red flag still halting Grand Prix when weather becomes too extreme. Here's a breakdown of the continuing challenges and what can be improved. F1 uses two sets of tyres, obviously the intermediates for damp drying conditions. These have shallower tread, and then the full wet tyres, which feature deeper grooves to channel away standing water and heavy rain. The main factor behind F1 cars being unable to race in wet conditions is not grip but visibility. When rain falls heavily, the modern Pirelli tyres, using the introduction of 18-inch wheels in 2022, can still shift over 85 litres of water per second at 300 kilometres an hour. The increased tyre width and diameter, while great for water displacement and all causes spray, reducing visibility. For 2025, Pirelli introduced further tweaks to its wet and intermediate compounds. While the construction remains similar, the compound changes aim to reduce the performance gap between the tyres and limit overheating and degradation. While the displacement figures are phenomenal, the result is a Tandem Rooster tailless spray kicked up behind each car. Ground effect aero, mandated since 2022, worsens the situation, hitting the ground faster. The problem remains is that the main limiting factor for safe wet racing is often safety car periods and red flags to reduce standing water. In short, even if the car can drive safely, we've seen, for example, Isaac Hadjar crashed into the back of Kimi Antonelli at Silverstone, unable to see where he was. Where visibility remains the main limiting factor for F1 cars to race under heavy rain, grip is still also an issue, especially when water pools on the surface. As pointed out above, the current wet tyres have an incredible capacity to display water. These have their limitations. If standing water accumulates fast and the cars begin to aquaplane, riding on a layer of water rather than tarmac, once that happens, the driver begins to come a fashioner. A recent example was Charles Leclerc slowing his stall at relatively low speed as he is on his way to the grid ahead of the season opening Australian Grand Prix. The lightweight nature of F1 cars and the wide tyres make them especially vulnerable to aquaplaning, particularly as the single seaters have no aids such as anti-lock braking systems or traction control, unlike road tyres. Over the past few years, the FIA has begun developing and testing wheel arches to reduce spray. These arches would have been fitted over the wheels for only the wettest conditions. It's a pretty simple concept. The idea is to limit how much spray is going rearwards, improving visibility. Initial tests took place in Silverstone 2023 and then with Ferrari in 2024. However, the results were rather underwhelming. It didn't reduce spray, but also introduced aero kind of issues. Ollie Beerman was critical after testing it last year. The FIA hasn't ruled out further development, but any practical solutions will need to balance gains with aero destruction. Pirelli has also been testing a new crossover compound designed to make the wet tyres more usable when conditions transition between heavy and intermediate. However, for now, it remains a problem. How does F1 race in the rain? Anyway guys, that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share and subscribe. Follow us on our socials, link in the description below for daily F1 news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.